Go.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, wait, let me put these headphones in. So, all right.
Why don't you start off, kick it off, and introduce us? Let's keep the energy going high, and let's dive into these tips. Let's waste no more time.
Those of you who are just jumping on, you may have heard me say this on my scope, but I will go ahead and say it again, right? My name is Aria. This is my identical twin sister, Dejan, with the stripes behind her, and our mom, Sonia, okay? Not only are we entrepreneurs individually, but we call ourselves familypreneurs. Every Tuesday, we run this show called Hack Your Hustle, and that's where we're bringing you real ways, tips, and tricks, and tools for you to hack your hustle, not just anywhere, but specifically on this online space, okay? So all of the people that we work with, that we coach, that we do business with, these are people who have a hustle, right, just like us, but they're looking for ways to really increase their reach, expand their sales, grow their business on this online space. And here's the thing. It's available to all of us, but what we know is that everybody just does not have it figured out yet, okay? So that's what really prompted us to create this show called Hack Your Hustle. So you're in the right place. If you own a business, work from home, you're involved in a network marketing opportunity, anything like that, you need to really know some of the things that we talk about tonight. Help us bust some myths, as I said, on Periscope, okay? And help us share some truths, all right? So I know that one of the 10 things we share today is going to resonate with someone, if not everyone, all right? And we also have a really good treat at the end. So, Dejan, that was the quickest introduction that I could possibly do. So why don't we just jump in and have Mom introduce people who are in the room right now, unless you guys did that while I was scoping.
Nope,
we didn't do that.
Mom, why don't you? Yeah, go ahead and kick it off, and let's see Halona's profile, and then let's dive right into the content.
If she's reading her profile, this is a really good opportunity. If my mom is reading, for you guys just to hit share or post to Facebook. Let people know that you're in a good place and they should join you.
Exactly. Absolutely. Thanks, Ria. Okay, so we have Halona Black with us tonight. She helps entrepreneurs connect with clients via books and blogs, newsletters, and more. So welcome. We are so happy that you decided to join us tonight.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And it definitely. And it looks like, let's see, I think we have someone that just joined the room. Yes, Angela. We have Angela. Angela, I'm calling you out. I know you just joined us, but we're reading profiles, so this is a great opportunity for you to meet people in the room if you haven't met already. But Angela is with us. Angela at Design. Let's see, Designobox, FDR. Creative Director of Design Outside the Box, Design Studio, Luxury Culture Invitation, Stationery, Branding, Graphic and Web Design. And I think I remember Angela. Angela, you've been with us before. I love.
You've been with us before. And
yep,
you've been showing us a lot of love on Periscope. So
that's awesome.
And it's Design Not Box, just to correct.
Design Not Box. Gotcha. Okay. Good. So.
Awesome.
Glad to have you, Angela.
All right,
so
Leah,
let's
go.
So we're going to jump in. We know that what we always want to do is have an opportunity to invite somebody to the hot seat. So you guys see that we have this empty site right here. Do we have anything we want to drop in as a link or play in this box, or you just want me to dive in?
Nope, go ahead and dive in.
Okay. So we're talking tonight, right, about 10 things that home-based business owners, network marketers are talking about, right? Now, what we know is that there's no way for us to say that these are the only 10, but these are the things that keep coming up time and time again. Now, if you've been with us for a while, you might remember that a few months ago, we brought you 5 things that network marketers are talking about, right? We blogged about it. We talked about it. We actually had a really rich discussion, and we had a ton of people on that blog. Or on that lab session, just chiming in and telling us their experience, really sharing with us. And so I only pray that tonight looks like that night, right? Because not only are we bringing these 5, we want to rehash those, but bring you 5 other ones, okay? Because they're worth talking about over and over again until we get these things right, all right? Or until they no longer are relevant to the conversation, but they're still relevant. So number 1, the first thing that network marketers and home-based business owners are always talking about is probably the most important. And I'll touch on this again before we close. And it's all about getting leads. And the question is not just about how or what leads are, right? What that really means. The question is really how to get these leads. Dejan, I'll let you talk a little bit about it. And you guys will tag team a little bit. So Dejan, Okay. Getting leads, right? That's like the number one.
Yes, number one. And remember, guys, we're going to roll through 1 through 5 really quickly because we already did a full blab session on these, but this is just a quick recap. So getting leads, right? Getting leads is definitely essential to who we are as business owners, right? So whether you're involved in network marketing, whether you have a home-based business, whether you have a service that you have personally created and offer, whether you have a product that you've created and you are marketing, your leads are everything to your business, right? You guys already know this because that's how you're able to get sales, right? I'm going to take off my earrings because I feel like my mom is giving me the eye. Like they're making noise.
I actually wasn't, no, but
all right. Well, I took them off. It's all right. Want to make sure you guys can hear me. Go ahead and tap that screen, guys. You guys know how Blab works. Click the my square. Talking. Give us props. Let us know that you guys are feeling the conversation and that what we're saying is resonating with you guys.
Hold 1 sec. Rhea, your keyboard's really loud, so you may want to just refrain from that a little bit.
Here's
it's
the
really
thing,
loud.
people. This is when we start to really act like a mother-daughter team, because not only will we correct each other in public, we'll cut each other off. All of our computers sound like that. Yours sounded like that a little bit ago. I chose not to say anything. And that's the thing, is you don't hear it when you're doing it. Like what you're doing now, I can hear that.
I did it on purpose. I did it for you.
So
I did that for you.
Angela, we might be saying, like, can you referee here? We might need some help. Okay.
Go ahead, Dejan.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. All right. So getting leads, that's essential to anybody's business. All right. Basically, those are prospects. Those are people that are potential clients or potential business partners or buyers, whatever you want to call it. Right. And so essentially, there's a simple formula to getting leads. All right. And then I'll let Rhea pick it up with number 2. You are providing value plus giving people a place to opt in equals lead generation. Okay. It's kind of as simple as that. That value part of the equation, look at me doing math. That value part of the equation can come in through information that you provide on Periscope, information that you put on your personal blog and send out to the people on your list. It can be information just like this Blab session. It could be a podcast, YouTube videos, whatever it is. That's the value part of the equation. All right. And then you're going to throw that plus sign in there. Okay. So imagine that plus sign. Then you're going to combine that with an opt-in form. All right. This is the exciting part. This is actually the game changer part. All right. That opt-in part is a form, simple form that asks people for their name and their email. All right. And that form, it's going to live on your homepage of your blog. It might live on a simple landing page. It's going to live wherever you put it. Okay. But basically it's going to give people an opportunity to give you their email address at minimum in exchange for more value from you. Okay. So that more value may be a more in-depth checklist. That more value may be a one-on-one consulting session. It may be private coaching. It may be a free ebook. Okay. So that's essentially all that's involved with getting leads in a very, very quick nutshell. So hopefully that made sense. We'll dive into some of those specifics probably as our list moves on. So let's dive into number 2.
That's the virtual way of getting leads. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So that's something that a lot of home-based business and network marketers are talking about, how to get leads in this new way, right? We're not talking about buying leads the old-fashioned way and literally carrying around a stack of names and numbers or email addresses. Not what we're talking about, okay?
Right.
So that's very important.
And just to cut you off,
I'm not knocking it, right? I'm just saying that that's not the type that we're talking about.
I just want to cut you off because for anybody that is doing that route, that's still a very viable way. It's not necessarily old-fashioned. Okay, any way that you're getting leads is fine. All right.
If it's working, it's fine, right?
You may be putting up posters somewhere. Okay, so whatever floats your boat. Okay, that's what we'll say. But there are ways to automate things so that you can do it in your sleep, because you can't necessarily be around posting 24 hours a day, but your content that's online literally can live there 24 hours a day. So again, there are very effective paid lead generation strategies, but we're just talking about some automated ones that are specific to the online space in this instance.
Right. And I think what makes the automated piece so important is that it allows you to, in essence, kind of multiply yourself so that you are in multiple different locations at one time. You're speaking to multiple people at one time, and it allows you just to, 10x everything that you're doing.
Exactly. All right, Rhea, what's number 2?
All right, so number 2, attending events. So no matter who we're talking to, right? People who have been involved in some of the companies that we've been involved in, right? And we've been involved in a few different companies over the years. It doesn't matter if we're talking about any of those companies. It doesn't matter if we are talking to new people who are talking to us about companies we've never heard of, right? The one thing that they are all talking about is attending their company's events. Now, of course, we know that the size of the companies varies, smaller and larger, but it doesn't matter which way you slice it. People are talking about attending their company events. So, Dejan, I'll throw that over to you. You catch it and tell them the rest.
Sounds good. And you know what? I'm going to just pause and say hey to everybody that just jumped in the room. Tamika Gross joined us. Tracy Bass jumped in.
Roman jumped in.
Yeah, Roman jumped in. When we hit about 0.5, we're going to take a break and read some of these profiles. So stick around because you might meet some like-minded people in this room. But we definitely want to give you like a live shout out. So, and Aria, just moving forward, I know that the meat of our content and the new tips are going to be in 5 through 10. So let's breeze through 1 through 5 extremely quickly. Why don't you just list it and toss it to me?
She's telling me to speed up.
I'm telling you to speed up.
I talk so much. Got it.
So here we go, guys. And don't forget to use those props, okay? Click those squares if you guys are getting the information. And you feel free to ask questions, all right? Just use /Q, okay? Uppercase Q, and then write your question, and it'll show up in the comments field. So.
And feel free to even us out. You know that we're having a struggle here. 129, 46, and 5. Feel free to help us out.
Exactly. So, okay, attending company events. That's essential no matter what business, what organization you're in. You have to be in it to win it. That's essentially what it is, right? So if you're not there and you're not showing up, you can't get the juicy information, all right? So just to recap what we talked about during that last session when we originally brought up this topic, was when you are attending events, I don't care what business you're in, I don't care what kind of company you have, even if it's like an affinity group or something like that for the niche that you're a part of. If there's events going on that are involving your main topic and your main business, be there. Because that's when you're going to get to meet industry leaders. That's when you're going to get to meet other people that can be thought partners. Okay, that's when you're going to learn strategies. All the stuff that these leaders are not giving away ever, right? It would probably cost you an arm and a leg to get some of this insight if you were to pay them in a private session. So when you're at those events, you're going to get to tap into some serious gold nuggets. So look at your calendar, get your buckets, all right, and get ready to collect, all right? Be at your next event.
Absolutely.
So
that's right. And you know what? I'm gonna add to that, because the other really, really, really important reason why you want to make sure that you are at every single event that you possibly can is because you're going to leave that event with so much motivation.
Yeah,
you will literally be fired up for your business. And, you know, meeting the leaders is essential. I mean, you know, you can't even put a price tag on that and all of the things that Dejan listed. But we all know that, you know, all of this, you know, this business that we're in, there's highs and there's lows, and there's highs and there's low, and there are lows. But I tell you, when you attend your events, you will come back on a high, and that high will last for a long, long, long time. So it is so important just for your internal motivation to be at those events.
So if you have something coming up and you're wondering, is it worth it? Should I do it? The answer is yes. Okay. And it's a really great way to show your downline, if you have one, that you are really in it to win it, right? Because you might have some of them underneath you saying, I think I'm going to go to this event. And then when they see that you're not going, you know, imagine what that looks like, you know, and what that might do to your team morale. Quick story, true story. The very, very first time we got on Periscope was with what, guys? Where were we?
We were at an event. We were at an event.
All right. So somebody said, you got to get on, right? And you got to get on tonight. And it wasn't that we hadn't heard of it, but we just had never done it before. In fact, our mom was like, we need to really check out this thing called Periscope. We need to get on. But it was at an event that somebody really was like, let's just do it together. Get on right now. And it gave us the courage and the excitement to get on. And we haven't gotten off since. That was July. Okay. So make it happen. Get to that event. Number 3, really quick. Network marketers, home-based business owners, right? People who are just like you guys, running businesses, trying to make this happen full-time or already making it happen full-time. One of the things that you're talking a lot about is friends and family, right? Dejan, tell them why.
You know what? I'm going to actually toss this one to Mom because I think she covers this subject really well. And what we mean is the fear of talking to friends and family, or really the topic, you know? that's on everybody's tongue. They're like, oh, do I want to approach my, my mom's second cousin, or do I want to talk to, my cousins about this at Thanksgiving? So that's kind of like a topic that can be either like a sore spot or maybe a really good spot for some people.
No, you're right. You hit the nail on the head. And I think a lot of that really depends on where you are in your business. A lot of people have been in business for years and years and years. And a lot of people have been from company A to company B to company C to company D, and on and on and on. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes your friends and family have already seen you coming to them with this great opportunity that you have. And then 2 years later, you got another great opportunity, and so on and so forth. But the bottom line is, most of the companies, when we come into these companies, they give you a memory jogger. And that memory jogger is there for just that, for you to be able to jog your memory, to think about everybody who babysits your kids, who's your kid's teacher, who cuts your grass, who delivers your newspaper, and on and on and on, so that you can approach each and every one of those people on that list. And it's great. It's a wonderful tool. It really is. It's a great way to jumpstart your business. But the bottom line is, we all know that eventually that list begins to evaporate. That list gets short, and eventually you run out of people to talk to. And so the question that, so when we say, what are network marketers talking about? What do you do when you get to the end of that list? Who do you turn to then? It's like, I've talked to all of my friends and family, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. So who do I talk to now?
And and you guys, we talk really fast. And as I hear us talk, I know we're like rushing to get to point number 5, but have you guys been there on the sidelines, just trying to check the pulse?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Have you guys?
Because a lot of people, right? A lot of people may be in the midst of going through that list, and if you are, that's great. Go through that list. Go through it. But a lot of folks may have already been through that list, and they're staring at that list, saying, "I've already talked to these people. Where do I turn to now?" Exactly. And what you don't want to do is begin to alienate your friends and your family. You don't want to have that Thanksgiving dinner where you ring the doorbell and people are sitting back going, oh my God, here she comes, or here he comes. And I know that they're going to talk to us about that business thing that they're doing, whatever it is. And you don't want to be that person.
And again,
nobody has said why. Maybe we're not talking to a room of people who've experienced this. So maybe we're forewarning you. Maybe
and if you haven't, that's
right. That's what we're asking for, is if you have, give us a why. If we see no why, right, we see nobody saying, yes, that's me, I can identify, let's assume that you haven't gotten there yet. Maybe you're very new in business, right, and you haven't come across this. This means this is a stumbling block you could avoid.
And really and truly, it's not if you will, it's more of a when you will, because you will eventually get to that point. If you haven't already, you will eventually get to that point.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to close this out, and this will be the last comment on this subject, I guess. And then Rhea will toss it to number 4. Is that what we're on, or is that the 5th one coming up?
Yeah, we're going to be on 4.
We're going to be on 4. Okay. So in a nutshell, I always say this, guys, right? In a nutshell, friends and family are not a bad thing. But like Mom said, just to recap, friends and family may support you at first because they love you and they care about what you're doing. But it's definitely not a way to sustain your business. And with us being in 2016, we have a plethora of resources right at our fingertips, like literally at our fingertips. So there are people that are online who are actually begging for whatever it is that you have. And I don't even know what you have, but I know that people are begging for it, whatever it is, because there's something for everybody. So all you have to do is really connect with those people in a way that makes sense online. And that's going to allow you to kind of avoid that unsure space with friends and family altogether. So again, that can be a whole blab within itself. But we wanted to let you know that is something that network marketers are definitely talking about. So, all right, College Savvy Coach just joined us. Let's get on to tip number 5 or item number 5. And then Mom, why don't you read 2 of the profiles of people that are in the room?
All right, we're only on 4, so I'm going to go through 4 and 5 quickly so we can get on to the really new, juicy content, okay? So number 4, things that people are always talking about. Again, people, network marketers, home-based businesses, right? People that have home-based businesses. What they're talking about are ways to initially respond to people who say, yes, I'm interested, okay? Now, this sometimes can be really the biggest place where people find themselves stumbling or not exactly knowing what to do next, right, Dejan? So they're talking about how to initially respond to people who are saying, yes, I'm interested. a lot of times I will say that this is right alongside an initial autoresponder. So if you can merge those two, Dejan, and talk about it really quick, that'd be great.
Okay, and so what you're saying, I just want to clarify how people are responding to people that initially show interest and say yes, right?
And then, yeah, and autoresponders, you know, those are these two things that people are talking about. And the question is like, I don't understand how they really connect. There's a lot of questions around that.
All right, awesome. So this kind of connects with that first part, which was leads, right? Remember when I gave you guys that equation, right? And we said leads is basically the equation of value plus an opt-in form equals those are your leads. Those people become leads, right?
Right.
And so then it's like, all right, well, what do I do with these people? All right, it's really simple. Okay, if you guys are wondering what you do with those people, show me some props on the screen. Either way, I'm still going to tell you. But what you do with those people is you're going to start communicating with them. Okay. And the choice is up to you. You know, sometimes you may pick up the phone. If you ask those people for their phone number, you may pick up the phone and call them. All right. But again, you can't call people while you're asleep, right? So again, we're talking about automation. So what you really want to do is set up some type of email campaign. All right. And you want to set up automatic messages that are going to go out to these people. Okay. And when I say automatic, I mean they're automatically going out because you've pre-written them. Okay. I don't mean they sound like a robot and they don't sound personal. Okay. You're going to put your own flavor. You're going to put your own flavor on these messages. Okay. So you're going to use a system like Aweber or GetResponse. All right. Aweber is what we use. It's one of our favorites. And you're going to do a series of messages so that when somebody initially gets onto your list after becoming a lead, they're going to get something that says, hey, it's Aria here. I'm glad that you made your way to, my blog site. I look forward to connecting with you and giving you 5 tips each week or something like that, or, all right, I'll slow down if I'm talking too fast. It might look like, hey, thanks for joining my list. Here's the free ebook that I promised you. All right. Because remember in that equation, I told you that you are giving value, right? Through any medium, any piece of social media. Maybe it's a tip, maybe it's a 5-second, how-to, right? Mm-hmm. And then those people are going to your site where you've directed them to. They're going to be met with an opt-in form asking for their email address, and they're going to give you their email address. They become a lead, and they gave you their email in exchange for more value. So what you're sending them, all right, those are those people that initially said yes, that Aria's talking about. That more value that you're sending them is what's going to be in your automated email that you've set up in advance. Okay?
Exactly.
So it's a one-time thing, really easy.
I'm going to move quickly to number 5. Okay, so we are going to hit on this again. So if you have questions, if that didn't quite make the most sense, trust me, it will by the time we close. Okay, welcome to all the people jumping in the room. Make sure you stay because after I do this number 5, right, we're going to actually read out a few profiles so that everyone in the room knows who's in the room and how and why they should connect. Okay, so number 5, Dejan, it's authenticity, right? So one of the things that people are talking about is how to be authentic. What you find in network marketing, people that have home-based businesses, a lot of times they are affiliates for a company and it needs that there are other people doing exactly what they're doing, right? Exactly. It makes them, really look very much like the other people in the room who are doing or selling the same thing or offering the same product or service. And so there's a lot of people who are saying, how can I be authentic? I am authentic, but how can I make sure that people know that I'm being my authentic self? How can I stand out? Okay, so that's something that I probably just racked up in what I just said, but Dejan, expound on that a little bit. Just the importance of honing in on your authentic self and why so many people are talking about it.
Okay. In a nutshell, you really said it. But really, you just want to be whoever you are in real life is kind of who you want to be in your business. All right. So again, we're involved in a few different businesses. And guess what? There's a million other people that are involved in similar businesses. Some of them maybe not quite a million, but there's a lot of other people that have the same opportunity to offer as us. They have the same products to offer, right? But what makes us different is that, we are not the same DNA as anybody else offering those products. All right. My personality is not the same as somebody else offering that. And so the magic factor is you. You're the magic, that is brought to the equation, because people do want to do business with people. All right. The product is great. It's great that the company has all these accolades and all that. They can read that on Google. They can find out that information. But what makes them want to buy is your personal connection. All right.
That's right.
Because remember, we live in a world full of what? Options, choices. Okay.
That's
So
right.
we're very discerning and selective buyers. Right. And so, again, you want people to connect with you. And a way that you might do that, just as an example, is, with your particular, let's just say you have a weight loss product. All right. And maybe that's your network marketing company. Okay. You're selling shakes. Maybe you want to target moms who just had a baby, and that's your target market because maybe you just had a baby. And that's what makes you different than, Bob next door, because Bob probably didn't just have a baby. He can't relate to maybe trying to get off that baby weight, right? So if somebody has a choice and they see Bob's site and yours, maybe that other mom who just lost weight or who just had a baby is going to want to connect with you and your products. All right. And they just connected with you because you've been your authentic self on things like Blab or through your blog or through your Periscope or through your YouTube videos. You just said, hey, I'm Dejan and I'm, really into maintaining a healthy lifestyle, whether you have kids or whether you don't. There's a couple things that I do all the time to help me maintain that, healthy vibe. I'd love to share it with you. All right. And so that wasn't like a sales pitch. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like join my shake company and you can sell green shake too. It was just telling people who you are, what you do, and it gives them room to inquire more about you.
That's right.
Make sense?
And so it's about finding that niche.
Exactly.
Like
That's right.
Something that Mom always says, and I'll let you finish it, Mom, but you say, if you are selling to...
what do I always say? I say, oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Everybody says that.
I say so many things, but right, if you're selling to everyone, you're basically selling to no one, because there's no way that you can sell to everyone. Physically, there's no way you can sell to everyone, and there's no way that you will ever be able to be attractive to everyone that you're trying to sell to. And so you go out and you kind of, you do what Dejan mentioned, and that's basically finding your niche. Whatever your niche is, then you're going to find your niche. You're going to fall into your niche. And those are the people that you will be able to authentically be attracted to, and that they will be attracted to you. And so they will naturally want what you have.
And you always tell us that not everybody wants your stuff.
Truly, everybody does not want your stuff. And again, like Dejan said, I may be selling a weight loss product and you may be selling a weight loss product. They may not want my stuff from me, but they may want that same product from you. But everybody doesn't want your stuff. And so that's, again, right, Rhea, why you can't sell to everyone.
And the great thing is,
you can't market to everyone.
You don't even want to. So,
Right.
It's just like a friends group. You don't want everybody to want to be your friend. There's some people that you hope stay very far away from that list, right?
That's right. Exactly.
With business partners, right? You don't want everybody to want it. So
that's right.
Be uniquely you. Find out who your target market is. Maybe find out what makes you different. And, as an example, hey, we spin ourselves as the familypreneurs because that's what we are. All right. We're all about change and empowerment and giving people tools and resources to help them live their best life. Sometimes that includes products and services that are a part of the businesses that we're a part of. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's drawing on, my background as an artist and a set designer and offering tips that help people just in their daily living and how designing a better space can help them function better as a human. Sometimes Mom brings in her background as an HR professional and, a successful business owner. And she gives people tips on presenting themselves and commanding authority and reading the room and all of these like professional standards types of things, right? She probably has a better word for it. But sometimes, again, that's pulling on her background. It doesn't necessarily have to do with her in her particular business. All right. Aria's passionate about education and school transformation, and so sometimes she may be giving advice and tips for families and entrepreneurs who are hacking their hustle with kids in school or with working around homework and things like that. So again, doesn't necessarily have anything to do with her business, but it's tied into who we are as a brand, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does.
Definitely. It does.
Okay.
It does.
That was number 5, and I'd love to be able to read off profiles because it's 8:38, and I really, really, really want to try so hard tonight to get through the next 5 and honor the time. It's like my personal challenge.
I was just getting ready to do that, but go ahead, roll with it.
No,
you do it.
Go ahead, do it.
Well, okay, I'll do it. Let's see. Who do we have that we have not welcomed already? Tamika Gross. We've got Tamika Gross with us. Tamika is a motivational speaker and a coach, an entrepreneur, and an author. Yep. So you know what? For all of those who are joining us late, and for some people who may have never joined with us, this is our opportunity to, just reach out to somebody else in this room and meet them, get to know them, follow them, and you'll find that people will follow you back. It's just a great opportunity to network, and we're all about making sure that we give everybody an opportunity to do that. We also have Tracy Bass.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy. Tracy says that life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. TracyBass.com. I so agree, Tracy. That is so true. Why do we do that? I don't know why we do that, but we do.
We're human. We're human.
We are human. We are. And we have Lucy Howard. Lucy, I think you've been with us before, Lucy. There's no description here, but we would love to know all about you. So whenever you get an opportunity, throw a description in there. And we just want to know more about you, Lucy. But hi, we're glad that you're here with us.
Definitely.
And I think we have introduced everybody else. So just take a second and make sure you meet everybody in the room.
Actually, we have one more person. It's College Savvy Coach. She's been on with us before at Sia Knight. And she's a national speaker, a teen whisperer, 80s TV and music buff, the expert that shares 10 things not sure what that is, but she shares 10 things often. So you guys make sure you're following her.
And I love that she's a teen whisperer. That takes talent.
Right. Yes. You know all about that.
That's awesome.
She is too, actually. That's like her secret undercover superpower.
I'm a teen spy, but yeah.
You help parents prepare their children for college. I love that.
I love it. That's
a
great
niche. It's an awesome niche. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And parents do need help. So, all right, guys. Ria, you ready? Let's kick it off. Hey, you know what? Let me throw this out there. If you guys have not shared yet, this is how Blab works, right? Sharing is caring. If you guys have gotten some good information, if you kind of like us just a little bit, right? You've been on with us for several minutes so far, so I think you might kind of like us a little bit. Go ahead and hit that blue tweet button on the left-hand side and just write something and say, hey, I'm learning 10 great tips. Join us. Something as simple as that, and it will go ahead and include that link, and people can jump on and join us. So,
if you've already done it, thank you.
Thank you, College Savvy.
Right? So you guys, let's jump right in, okay? And we will invite anybody to catch the replay that joins us a little bit late. So we're just going to go full speed ahead. Number 6, okay? The number 6 thing that we found that people are talking about who are in network marketing, who have a home-based business of any kind, they're always talking about ways to change beliefs and attitudes about themselves, right? Who they are and what their business is all about, okay? Somehow, now I'm not telling you it's right, but somehow people find themselves in a space where they feel they have to convince people, where they have to say, oh, no, you don't really understand. It's really about this. Or, no, I think you heard it wrong because the products are really great for this. Or, no, don't try that because I have something you really have to try, right? You're always finding yourself in a space where you're having to defend, having to change beliefs and attitudes around your business, right? Around the products or the services that you're offering, and sometimes about who you are. Mom touched on this a little bit earlier when she talked about friends and family, right? Are you the person who every time you come to a family dinner or a barbecue, a cookout, whatever, people go scattering, right? It's like they can see you coming and they don't want to be caught in the corner with you because, God forbid you start talking about this new company you're so excited about, because not everybody wants to be a part of your company. Not everybody wants to hear about it. No love lost. They want to support you because they're your family or they're your friends, but it doesn't mean they want to support your business, right? And so what we want to always say to combat this thing that people are always talking about, that we hear about a lot, because believe it or not, it's a real question. Well, how can I like really get people to understand what I do? How can I really tell my parents that this is something they should be happy for, that I'm involved in? Maybe you don't want to concentrate there. Maybe what you want to do, probably what you want to do, yes, absolutely, emphatically, you want to do this, is you just want to switch it up and take it online. All right? Because in that space, you can find people who are raising their hands saying, I'm looking for weight loss pills that I can get in the next 36 hours. You can find exactly that if your industry is weight loss pills, right? If you are, for example, Saya, and you are helping people with their students who are college bound, right? You can find those exact parents who are struggling, because we know that all parents are not. We know that some parents are not interested, but there is a specific niche for people who are looking and saying, I have questions about the FAFSA, and they're typing things like that in that she obviously has the answer for. So you can see how this works, whether you are in network marketing or you have a home-based business, you know, whatever the case, there are ways for you not to worry about what people are saying, what they think, what they perceive. Go straight online, skim that, and connect directly, head on, with the people who want what you have. Does that make sense?
And how nice is that? How nice is that?
That's beautiful,
really.
Right? I would like hit you up and I would give you so many props right now if my keyboard wasn't making so much noise. But that's key. And so for anybody that was like, whoa, that was a lot of information all at once, Ria was simply saying, right? And I
talk fast, right?
Yeah, I think we all do. Just as a recap, you know, I think you always have to say it because, again, we get it. We have been there. Let me tell you guys, with just hearing so much information and soaking it in. And, you know, you have a lot of choices on Blab. You may have heard 8 people talk about similar topics already today. So it's a lot of information. But what you're basically saying, just to make sure I get it right also, is that people are talking about, network marketers are often finding themselves talking about how do they justify their products or their business. And they find themselves in kind of like a funny space, especially if they move between companies. And so that solution or the answer for that topic is basically Aria saying, go out there online, find your target market. So that way, if you have 5 different companies or 5 different businesses, you know, you can address those 5 different target markets and never find yourself explaining 5 different things to one person in a physical one-on-one setting.
Exactly. Because that's such an uncomfortable position to be in, having to defend what you're doing and having to defend your company or your products or your services. And you know that you joined that company because you were excited about that, and you don't want to be in a position where you feel that you're defending your decision because you're still excited about it.
You shouldn't have to. You
exactly
pumped up and excited. If you want to join
and you want to stay that way,
you want to be a Mary Kay rep, and you want to sell Legal Shield, guess what? It's
That's right.
You're a smart
Do
person.
all 3, and it's
because you're a smart
go
person.
for it.
You probably realize that there's awesome benefits for all of these companies. Okay, none of those 3 are we involved with necessarily, but just naming those, right? So you know a good thing when you see it. You know,
that's right.
So Saya is saying, go to your audience. Stop trying to convince your family and friends. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? It's that simple. And you'll feel a weight lifted also. So moving on, right? Number 7, I want to bring this up, okay? Because this has everything to do with what we brought up in the first place, which was getting leads. And it has everything to do with what we spoke on point number 4, which was initially responding to people in an automated fashion, right? Through an autoresponder like Aweber. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Number 7 is how to cultivate relationships, something that business owners are talking about. I don't care what kind of business owner you are. This is something that you know is really vital to the success of your business. How do I cultivate relationships? So that means if I have a physical store location and somebody walks in one day, how do I get them to come back? How do I get them to order from me offline, right? If I'm selling products or offering a service in a virtual space, how is it that I can get people to leave me their email address or their contact information and then stay engaged with that person? We're going to always point you back to something like Aweber, right? We know that Aweber has been really good for us, right? We use it, as Dejan said. But not only are we going to set up something so that someone can leave us their email address and they get an automatic, hey, thanks for leaving us your information. We're going to reach out shortly. You'll be included on our mailing list or something like that. Not only will they get that, but every time we have something really exciting or really special to share, we'll send out a broadcast, okay? And that means for those of you that have like a physical store, how great would it be to go ahead and send everybody out an email saying, big sale this Saturday, right? Everybody gets that message. When we go on to our blabs, we have a specific list and we're able to say, guys, we're going on in 30 minutes. Make sure you join us on Blab. That is what we call really cultivating a relationship. It doesn't mean that we get to know somebody and they get to know us the first time. It means that we have ways to continuously show them our authentic selves, right? We always get to give them a piece of value or information that they can get excited about. And what I call this, you guys, and you might turn around and use it, but it's a really simple way of turning somebody who says no off the bat, which is like 90% of people you're going to introduce your business to, your product, your service. That's a way to move them from a no to a not right now to a yes, I'm ready. Think about it.
I like that.
Exactly.
Think about the last time you bought a mattress, the last time you bought a dress for a special occasion.
It's actually kind of like dating.
Right? Dating,
That's what just popped in my mind.
That's a good analogy.
Well, I mean,
that's a better one.
There's all women in the room,
It's a perfect
right?
analogy.
And so everybody has known that one man or that one guy that would not leave you alone, right? And maybe they weren't like the harassing type. Maybe they were just like the one you weren't into at first. And then the more they just kept being nice to you and they just kept like being around, maybe you were like, oh, you know, they're kind of cool. You know, like, all right, why am I being so hard on them? Right? Because they tried their best to stay in your face and develop a relationship with you, right? And so that's what it makes me think of. But yeah, it's
Great
dating.
example.
And it is relationship building, which is exactly that. Relationship building.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
No,
right.
Not right now to, yeah, I'll go out on a date with you. Okay, yeah, I'll jump on your blast.
Okay.
Yes, I'll try this product out, whatever it is.
Exactly. You know, we get a lot of questions about that subject, you know, that whole subject of email campaigns and autoresponders and all of that. We might even consider maybe doing a training one night on what that really looks like inside the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Show you how we got our first, I don't know, 300 leads.
Sure. Yeah.
And what
Exactly.
that looked like, right? So if you're looking to really get these initial leads and you're like, I can't really see it yet, I have to see it to really understand it, we can show you that because we know what that feeling looks like when you're like, what? I mean, forget 300. Oh my God, I got 5 leads online, right? When you first figure out how that works, then you're like, I can turn that 5 into 10, the 10 into 30, 30 into 100, 100 into 300, right? Because it's all about duplicating a formula that you figure out for your niche, and it's amazing.
Definitely. If
Right?
you guys would
That's
like
right.
to see a training like that, type yes in the comment box, okay? Give us a yes if, okay, so Sia Knight is definitely, Sia or Sia Knight is saying yes, because I think that is a really great idea, and that's something we can put on the list. And so, Sia, got it, perfect. And some of you actually may be on our list, you know, I'm not sure. There's a lot of people, and we've definitely been blessed to be able to grow that list a lot over, you know, just a pretty short period of time. But there was a time where, guess what? We had 0 on our list, all right? So, yeah, that's right. 0. And so some of you may have gotten an autoresponder from us.
Which is where everybody has to start. So
yeah, everybody has to start.
we all start at 0.
So
it's okay.
All right, good,
Totally.
Maria. And good idea.
All right. So that was number 7. So moving on to number 8, something that especially network marketers are talking about, and home-based business owners. I think that I kind of sometimes will use them synonymously, but not so much your traditional business owner, right, with a brick and mortar space. But network marketers are often talking about local event recruiting. Okay. And it doesn't matter whether you are part of a small company, a larger company, even like Janberry, right, or Avon, that has catalogs that they have everywhere, right? They're representatives that definitely are tapped in, and they know that in their area there are these live events happening, right? They are sometimes what we call hotel events. Give me a Y on the sidelines, right? If you know what I'm talking about when I say a hotel event, okay? If you've been a part of a network marketing company and you're like, yep, I know what a hotel event is, right? It's a space that people have already registered for, and it's where your company really creates a platform for people who are succeeding. Sometimes your most successful people within the company, right? And it's a way for you to invite guests so that they can get excited and they can learn about the company. And sometimes we'll call them business opportunities, not just hotel meetings, right? Hotel meetings is like slang for business opportunity meeting, okay? Or biz op, all right? These are things that companies often will tell people. Here's your strategy. Meet people, praise your product or praise the results you got from your product or your service. Ask them if they're interested in taking part in the service, receiving it, trying it out, or being a part of the business, and then invite them out to this event. It's that simple, and we'll do the rest for you. All you have to do is get them there. Well,
right.
What ends up happening is, you guys can complete the rest of this and jump in and cut me off if you want. You invite like 30 people who you are so convinced are going to say yes. Because how could they not be excited about it? Because you're asking them, right? And you're excited. So you think they're going to get excited too. So they hear you out and they're like, okay, maybe. So let's say that 15 of those people say, definitely, I will be there. I'm excited. If you're excited, I'm excited. Sign me up. I'll be there. I'll get off early that day. I'll make some things. I'll rearrange. My husband will pick up the kids, whatever the case, right? I'll cancel my date. I don't know if people are going that far, right? But they are saying, yes, I will go to this event with you because you're inviting me. And then, the day before, 2 days before, you're like, well, let me call them and remind them. Let me send a text because I don't want to be too intrusive. Nobody texts you back, right? People are like, things got crazy at work. I have a deadline. My kids got sick. All these excuses start coming out of the woodwork.
Right.
Again, show me a why on the sideline if this is something that you've heard before, if this has happened to you, or maybe you've been that person, right? And so you get a mixture of responses, right? People are saying yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the day of the event, sometimes hours, minutes before, you are walking into that hotel meeting, that business opportunity meeting at someone's home, right? And you're walking in alone. And you're like, well, maybe my guests are late. I'll just keep turning around looking for them. And they never show up. You're just there by yourself like you were the week before or the month before. And you're looking for a solution to that problem. So that was my really long-winded story time, right? But that's my point is that there is a much easier way to do that. Your companies that you're involved in are going to have events. Now, whether you physically have to go to all of them, that's a question mark. But there is a way that you can start talking to people in an online space, people who you know, and more importantly, people who you don't know, who are going to be able to say, yes, I'm interested, and give you an actual RSVP that they stick to, and then they show up. There's a way to do that. Of course, we're just talking about these 10 things people are talking about. We're not doing the tutorial or the how-to. Stay connected with us, right?
Well, I'll say,
but it works.
Can I add one thing?
That's right.
Just to give you an example of how that works, right? Because again, like you said, we've all been there. I mean, I've been there several times. And again, those events are still very valuable. So again, we're not saying don't go, but that it can be a killjoy, if it happens time and time again and people are not, staying committed to their commitment, right? Or their agreement of coming with you. So a better thing that you can do, all right, if you have a company presentation that you have access to, it's really easy for you to create a basic slideshow or presentation on your personal blog, on a site that you own, okay? You can't do this on like a Facebook necessarily, or Twitter. I mean, you could do these things, but it's great to get people, again, back to your home, all right? You don't own Facebook, you don't own Twitter, and so it's going to be really hard for you to capture leads and all that kind of stuff, right? But let's just say you have a presentation set up on your website or your blog. You can go and talk to your friends or talk to people, again, better yet, that you meet online and say, awesome, you're really interested in hearing about, XYZ company? Okay, great. Well, which webinar time works best for you? We're hosting 3 webinars this coming Sunday and Monday, right? They pick a time and they jump onto a webinar that you've simply created, using simple tools, okay? And it's there for them to access, all right? So that's one way to do it. The next thing that you can do really quickly, and we'll get into all of these things like later on, you can probably find out more information on our blog about this stuff. But you could do a Google Hangout, all right? And so you are the presenter, all right? And it's the same concept. You get people to commit to being at a specific online event, which happens on Google. You go live and you present the information just like you would if those people were in your home, all right?
Exactly.
Or you hit play on that pre-recorded slideshow that you have, and then you open it up at the end, maybe for live questions, something like that. Or you give them.
I was going to say, I'm sorry, if you become skilled at, capturing those leads we were talking about, the minute people say, oh, that looks interesting, I am interested, I'd like to register. They're going to give you that email address. So here's the beauty. Even if at the last minute they like don't show up for that virtual event, what have you gained? Their email address. And you can continue to stay in contact with them. You can invite them to the next one. And it feels like there's a lot of pressure that's off, and they know that they still have an opportunity to connect and engage with you.
Exactly. Or you can send them the replay.
Right. You can do that as well. And not only that, but there's a lot to be said about people being able to watch your presentation or watch whatever information you have to deliver to them from the comfort of their home, sitting on their couch, not feeling pressured, not being surrounded by other people, not having to physically leave their home to go. And so people are more apt to say, oh, sure, I can definitely do that. I can grab my laptop and I can, turn that on and just, join you that way. And so there's, so those very same people who might not show up for the event at the hotel won't have a problem grabbing their laptop and tuning in that way.
And last tip, sorry, Rhea, I don't want to take the show. One last tip to this. There may be people that are saying, well, my company doesn't have anything. Or like, I'm a person that created my own products, or I have my own service. What about me? I don't have a hotel meeting or something to bring them to. All right. This is your chance, okay, to say, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I need to do. All right. I'm going to learn whatever I need to learn. I'm going to get over whatever fears I need to get over. And I'm going to create my own materials. Really simple. Yep. I'm going to record myself telling about what I do. All right. What services I offer, why people could connect with me. All right. It's kind of what we talked about last week, right? Tell people your name, tell them what you do, and tell them why they should care. All right?
That's right.
And so you're going to do that. So if you don't have a larger company behind you giving you stuff, or you don't have a strong upline giving you all this training stuff, go out there, make a video, record it on your screen, and, invite people to come watch it on your blog site. All right? So,
and you see a lot of people are doing that who have like traditional brick and mortar businesses. They're selling something. Let's say they're not a part of a network marketing company. I'm thinking of a girl who sells bow ties, right? Here's the cool thing is that people don't know why they should be buying her bow ties, right? Women especially, because they're like, maybe that's something for guys. I don't even know why. Maybe because you never thought until you saw her video on her landing page, on her site, right? She has a blog. And you saw her shooting videos of all the different ways as a woman you can wear that bow tie. So you can wear it at your neck. You can stretch it out, and she has them so you can wear it as a belt, and you can wear it as a headband. And so the cool thing is she's telling people exactly why they should be using her product, right? And so she doesn't have to depend on like trade shows or craft fairs or community events because she doesn't have her own store, right? She doesn't have to depend on those spaces. She's able to get online and show people that type of information, and sometimes it's live. Sometimes there's a Q&A.
Exactly. And if this
so virtually making your own commercial.
There you go. That's well said. Now, if that's piqued your interest and you're like, okay, I can do this. All right. These three ladies have kind of pumped me up and motivated me. Stay tuned because it is definitely correlated with what we have for you guys coming up in just a little bit. All right.
Definitely. So we're getting closer to our gift. All right. Which I hope people use tonight. So number 9. Let's keep it going. People who are home-based business owners, people who are in network marketing, people who are in affiliate marketing, what they're talking about is ways that they can keep their head in the game, right? Ways that they can stay relevant, ways that they can stay educated, and ways that they can keep themselves excited, right? Yeah. And it doesn't mean that they have a real need to say like, hey, my products are great, my service is great, my business is awesome. That's not what I'm talking about. They're looking for ways to really stay relevant. They're looking for ways to say, I need to know what this industry is all about at all moments, especially when it's changing all the time. And so they're always looking to tap into new resources. Some of these resources are things like, podcasts. Sometimes they are virtual events like we were just talking about, right? Webinars. Sometimes they're like exclusive invite-only type of webinars. But other times there are things that are just open to the general public. People are looking for ways to tap in, whether they're specific to their organization or their company or not. Because a lot of times you can use information that maybe is delivered to a specific audience, but it does translate into other spaces.
Yeah.
I know that, go ahead, you can say something.
I was going to say one great resource for that is if you're just looking for other things, it may be some of the services that you're currently paying for. All right. So your autoresponder service, like we said, Aweber. All right. they host great tutorials and training sessions, and sometimes have live events. There's a couple of other things. I think Get Response has some things.
It does.
You know, just look at the things that you currently are paying for already. And I guarantee if they have paying customers, they're going to want to connect with those people on a greater level. And so that's a great way to start looking for other events. And of course, all these people that they're connected to are going to be from all these different companies, right? But they're going to get together and share like in the know, up to date information. So that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Also, you know, we listen to a lot of audios. One of the companies that we're involved with has these audios that are provided, or that provide opportunities for people to grow and learn. Right? Sometimes they are like morning wake up calls. Sometimes they're like midday motivations. They are evening webinars with specific topics. But these are things that we tap into to stay relevant. And to keep ourselves encouraged and really on the pulse of what other people are doing, right? I think that I've listened to recently a few on this. This is not so recent, but I'm thinking things that really gave me a lot of value were how Periscope was really a game changer, right? And I remember listening to some audios and listening to ways that people are really taking advantage of this new platform. And that was a teachable moment, right? And so companies are looking for ways to give value consistently.
Exactly. And you guys as consumers, us as business owners, you know, the name of the game, and I think I'm probably reading Mom's head is, and maybe wrapping up this point is skill sets, all right? Learning and skill sets. So you can continue to make sure that you're in the know as long as you're always developing a new skill set, because that's really what it takes to, you know, to swim in this industry, you know, and not to sink, because it's so easy to sink, right? You guys know that most people don't make it. Most people quit, you know, like their first 3 months or their first year in business or something, right? And so the people that are continuing to swim and like, you know, continuing to get excited are the people that keep developing new skill sets so they can continue to reach new people. And that's how they're thriving, all right? So we'll say right now, if you're not developing new skill sets, and I mean like weekly, if you're not developing new skill sets, so you can go out there and reach new people and be on top of the latest platforms and just know what's going on, then your business may not, you know, be around that long, or you may not stay excited about it, you know?
That is, you are hitting the nail on the head. That is so, so true. And I'll tell you this, if you take a minute at the next event that you're at and look around the room, I guarantee you that probably 70% of the people in that room are totally unaware of really how huge this industry is, and totally unaware of the tools and the skill sets that can be gained in this business of whether it is network marketing, internet marketing, however you're networking. But there are so many tools outside of the old traditional belly to belly, you know, sales tactics, that there are so many people that don't realize that these things exist. So you will be truly, most likely be ahead of the game, you know, amongst people within your company.
Oh, most
guarantee
definitely.
you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
the skill sets are, the skill sets are
right.
Right.
Let's just break that down. We're saying skill sets, right? But I know a lot of people don't understand what we mean. What skill sets in this area? We can name out a ton, right? But let's start with how to use Facebook. I'm just going to keep it really basic. A lot of times that's where people are starting. How to use Twitter? How do I sign up for Instagram? And what do you use that for? Sometimes it is how to send out a broadcast. How do I create a newsletter? What's the importance of blogging, and how can I create a blog? What is a landing page? What is an opt-in, and how do I use it? How do I keep track of all of my emails? How do I close people online?
How do I close people online? How do I have a chat with somebody online? How do I do all of those traditional things? Because those things don't change, but the method in which we do them changes when you're talking about being online. So it's all of those same things. How do I, all the things that you listed, Aria, but every single thing that has been done in the past traditionally is now done in a totally new way. And there are skill sets amongst, or I should probably say within each of those things. So when you talk about using an autoresponder, that's what communicating. So there are so many different ways now to communicate. And if you have not learned and gained that skill set, then you won't be effective doing that.
Exactly.
You just won't.
Because
So
I like that you said it's the same way, because at the end of the day, you guys, we all know, and you guys know over on the chat, you know, it's relationship building, you know, and I guarantee that you guys are in this blab right now because you enjoy building relationships, or else you probably wouldn't have been attracted to this blab topic right now or involved in your company. And so you're still connecting with people, and it's just the medium that's changed, you know. So before, you know, maybe 15 years ago, not even, you know, 8, 9 years ago, it might have been that your autoresponder was you actually picking up the phone and saying, hey,
that's right.
On my personal calendar, got a call
Yeah.
in 3 weeks. Okay, all right, they're on my calendar for this date. Pick up the phone and call that person back.
Right.
All right, so now that is your autoresponder. So the skill set you got to use, you got to learn is, how do I use this? How do I set it up? How do I make this work?
That's right.
So
I can remember when we first made the determination that we needed to go online. We needed to figure, I kept saying, we've got to figure this thing out, not realizing how huge and enormous this is. And there are so many niches within this. And we always tell people, when you're starting, to take one thing, you know, if it's a platform, maybe if it's Twitter or Facebook, or, you know, pick one thing and learn it.
She's already diving into
am I?
So
okay, you know what? I'll zip it. Roll with it.
I'm glad you said that, because
I had no idea I was touching on that. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah. So it's 9:09 anyway. And so we are, as it strikes 9:10, we're going to hit the 10th point. Okay. And the 10th point, right, which is the 10th thing that we find, at least the people that we've been working with, right? Network marketers, home-based business owners, people who want to hack their hustle, which is what we're talking about online. The thing that they're talking about, you guys, I was trying to stretch this out and time it perfectly when the clock changed, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. What they are talking about is marketing strategies to get more leads and make more money. Okay. And so this ties in perfectly with point number one. Point number one was network marketers are talking about getting leads. And then they're talking about a bunch of stuff in between. And then they're still talking about how to get more leads and make more money. Okay. So we know that the getting the leads part has to happen before people can even talk about increasing their sales. Okay. So you have to get more leads in order to make more money. And we've been talking a lot about strategies, talking about skill sets, okay? And when I say strategies, there are a ton of different things that people out here are doing. They're talking about paid ads. They're talking about email campaigns. They are talking about using social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter to not only gain exposure, but to tap into new groups of people, into a new audience.
Get more leads.
Right? And build a brand.
Build their brand. So there are a lot of different strategies that people are really trying to chase. And something that I always say is that network marketers, home-based business owners, especially those that do not have a real good system that they're tapped into, right? And I'm not talking about a good company they're tapped into, but a good system to learn. They are going to Google University, all right? You guys know what Google University is, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's just that little bar, right? It's just that bar, that search engine, that search bar, right? And they are trying to gain bits and pieces of information from other people. Some of it is valid, right? But it somehow leaves them a little bit short of hitting that mark that they want to hit. Somehow they are missing pieces of information because they watched somebody's really great video and that was only point A. They need point B and C to make it, okay? And then they don't have that. They can't find that video. They can't really find something that takes them all the way through.
Have you guys been down that rabbit hole where you're looking for something?
I have.
I know in the beginning,
definitely have.
when we were looking at online stuff and all this, we went down a lot of rabbit holes and we're like, wait, that was great. And they got us all pumped up, but like, where's the rest of the how-to? Where's the rest of the equation? I know you guys are quiet. You guys are like a little bit shy tonight. I'm not sure why, but
they really are. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, everybody is kind of quiet.
I'm just,
you know what? I always like to use the Alice in Wonderland analogy. If anybody knows that story,
if anybody knows
Alice fell,
yes, you guys have been living under a rock.
Aria may not. Aria may not. But Alice she fell in that hole.
Yeah,
And
she
oh
did.
my gosh, and everybody that she ran into, and she couldn't get out of the hole. And it was just, you get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you still can't figure it out, you know? So that's that hole.
Exactly.
That's that rabbit hole.
Online
That rabbit hole is no joke. Yeah.
That's the word of
So
online marketing.
the name of the game
It
is that
is.
you have to replace Google University and Black Hole University
You have to go to
and all
school.
that. You got to replace that with some real training and some real
That's right.
some real guides that are going to teach you. All right. So
And it's
Yeah.
easier to find than you think. And the one point I was going to make about people doing that is that, of course, I am
YouTube
YouTube
University.
University. I love it.
Yeah.
The point I'm going to make is that there's nothing wrong with you guys, or anyone for that matter, of course, going out there and learning things on their own and using a lot of these tools. We're kind of teasing, but YouTube has great information.
do
right?
that.
I've learned
You
how to
should
do
do
a
that.
million different hairstyles and hair dye and all of this stuff all on YouTube, right? But as it comes to trying to grow your business, what you can do when you go about it this way is really start trying to do too much all at once, and you're not doing anything really well. Okay. And so what my mom was about to say when I cut her off and I said, don't lead into the 10th point, was she was saying that we encourage people to try one marketing strategy. And so let's say that it's Facebook. That's something, I really want to know how to market on Facebook. I know people are doing it. I know they're finding success. Pick that. Don't try to do Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram all at the same time. Master one thing, figure that out, get your leads that we were talking about, grow your leads, and then when you feel comfortable and those leads are coming in, every single day, then move on to a new platform. We want to give you something tonight to help you jumpstart this, and I want Dejan to tell you about it. So,
well, before we do that, I want to
sure.
say, before we do that, I want to see if anybody has any questions, because if you do, this is the time to probably ask those now. I know you guys have been shy, but I know you're just taking a lot of notes and you're taking it in and all that good stuff. And it's no pressure, seriously. If you, not at all.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
No,
No,
if you don't want to jump in, not a problem. I'm going to open the seat because I'm going to get this link ready that I'm going to give for you guys, which is, really our way to say thank you for tonight. All right. Just to recap, if you guys got on a little bit late, we're a mother-daughter team. We call ourselves Familypreneurs. My name is Dejan. I live in Savannah, Georgia. My twin sister, Aria, she's live in NYC right now. That's where she's busting out change and transformation. And our mom.
Point the other way.
Oh, for Ria, yeah. Mom is down below me, and she is in the DC area, and that's where she's thriving. All right. And so we connect virtually every single day, and we bring people tools, tips, resources, right, to all of these hustlers, all these business owners, all these entrepreneurs, all these big dreamers. All right. Because we want people to get to point Z, right? If you're at A, we want to get you to Z. All right. Yep. That is our mom. So this is our fearless, dynamic trio. All right. And so we know that for us in our personal journey, okay, we weren't born as network marketers necessarily, and we still don't necessarily identify solely as that, right? We're people that know a lot of good things when we see it. And so we've tapped in, maybe just like you guys. Mm-hmm. You're not just your company. You're not just a network marketer. You're not just an entrepreneur, you're many other things who have seen something awesome in this business that you're a part of, right? And you just want to share it with people. You want it to be lucrative, and you want it to be that vehicle that's going to allow you to do whatever it is that you want to do. All right. Whether that's sending your kids to private school, whether it's starting an organization, whether it's retiring, early, whatever it may be. Maybe it's even something smaller. Maybe it's just saving for a solid vacation every year. Right. So whatever your dreams and goals are, you're just using this probably as that great vehicle that you believe in to get there. And so what we found out and what we know to be true is that you definitely can't make it happen without the tools, without the resources and things that are going to really give you the nuggets and the nuts and bolts. All right. So that's what we're offering today is just a thank you. All right. You guys don't have to give us anything in return for it. It's just thanks from Team Transformation. And this is going to teach you guys all about using Facebook Live, which is a brand new feature on Facebook. Some of you may have already checked it out or seen people doing it. But it's going to give you guys basically like an 82-minute tutorial as well as a 15-page PDF. All right. And so you guys are going to get to dive in immediately, learn about again, how to get more leads and build your authority, build your brand, be authentic using this one platform. So check it out. You might learn something new.
You
And
will
you might
learn
fall in
something
love with
new.
it.
It's
You
awesome.
will.
It
You will learn
really
something
is.
new. And
It
here's
is.
the thing.
It is, and you will.
Challenge yourself to start tonight, and I bet you that by the weekend, right? That's just me being generous with the time. You really could start to shift the way your business is running online, right?
That's very true.
If you haven't started anything online, this is a great it's a great starting point. I saw that Sia said, if you're selling used products, I'm buying it. Here's the funny thing,
I just
right?
saw that.
Here's the really funny thing, is that every young person on earth knows how to use Facebook Live. Every person that's in business, every entrepreneur, every network marketer, every home-based business does not know how to use Facebook Live to grow their business, expand their reach, increase their leads, and then produce more sales, right? That's a fact. But you could ask almost anybody who is that pre-college age or college age, like, teach me about Facebook Live. What do I need to do? And they're like, it's simple. Just do this. But everybody doesn't know what Dejan's about to give you a link to. So think about it that way. And use it, rock it. I can tell you that the 10 things that we talked about tonight really were important to deliver, because it's important that you know where is the conversation and what other people in the industry are talking about. Also, if you think you're the only one that's worried about any of these 10 things, there's, we just normalized it, right? So you're not alone.
That's right. You are not alone. You're not alone. I also want to say this, we are very, very, very accessible. So, if you have questions after this blab, 2 days from now, and you want to reach out to us, feel free to do that. We like to connect. We do our best to answer, as many questions, or, join in, or if you know of something that's going on that you think that we may want to tap into, let us know about those things as well. We, like we said in the beginning, we like to keep everyone that we meet as networked as possible. And so, we want that to come our way as well. So if you know of anything that you think we may want to hear about or know about, let us know. But, connect with us on Facebook if you haven't already done that. Join our list if you're not on our list, because we want to keep you up to date with things that are going on with us. And, you can always, tweet us out and we'll do the same. So we're definitely here. And as Aria said, that is truly what our goal is to deliver tricks and tips and show people and teach people the things that we have learned along the way, because we've been there, definitely because we've been there. And we also realize that, oftentimes, there are things that you may have to share with us that we want to know about as well.
Awesome, guys. So look, this was a really great blab session. I think I'm just going to close by saying thank you guys again. I'll say thank you for all of us. We'll say in one big, unison, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It was a great session.
This is good.
It's always fun meeting like minds, and I hope you guys use that link, rock it out. All right. And again, on Facebook, we are facebook.com/a transformation team. Okay. So I'm not going to type it because I don't want to confuse anybody, but Facebook.com/a transformation team. So enjoy, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday, same time, 8 p.m. for another great session of Hack Your Hustle. All right.
If you use the guide, maybe we'll see you on Facebook Live, right?
That's right. Yes,
you guys
that's
are very,
right.
very welcome. And if you guys just stumbled upon this blog, or if you stumbled upon this blab, go ahead and check out our blog at asideofchange.com. That's our virtual home online, and that's kind of our collective voice. So
you can see
until
it
next
right
time.
There. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Take care.